Uh, Namaste, Guruji. In the previous shloka, when it says Anumanam cha Jagrati, so it's talking about Jagrit Avastha, right? That when we wake up, we realize that in Sushupti there was Anandam, or was it like you mentioned that it's not Jagrat Avastha, it's more about uh, what is present in front of us that we are guessing, or uh,
Right. So, see, that doubt comes. Even I had this doubt. When I was first studied this, I had the same doubt. And so, you see, Jagrati means in Jagrad Avastha. In Jagrad Avastha. Okay, what can happen in Jagrad Avastha which did not happen in deep sleep? What can happen? Something different has to happen. In Jagrad Avastha, it's Mishra. Sukha Dukkha both are there. In Sushupti, Sukham alone is there. Okay. All right. And so, Jagrati Shrutihi Pramanani. You have to put within brackets Pramanani. Swami Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswami, in his commentary, he says Pramanani. So these are the Pramanani in the waking. Means in the waking state, all these Pramanas are available for us to validate what we experience in Sushupti. That's all it is. That's all it is. So that Jagrati word is a little confusing. Confusing means it takes us off. It takes us away from the thing. So that's what it is.
but
Pramanani.
But the four, like these pramanas which are mentioned, Shruti, Pratyaksh, Taihyam, Anumana. So here, the Anumana here is the Anumana that of Pratibhigya, that when we wake up we realize that, oh, I was in deep sleep. That Anumanam, or is it something else?
No. Anumanam is in general Anuman.
Hmm.
The ability to reason. Yennaivam Tannaivam, Swamiji says in this commentary. So Swamiji, Chandrasekhara Mahavarti Swamiji lived some 100 plus years ago. Okay. And he says, Yennaivam Tannaivam is what? If it is not like this, then the symptom can't be like this. If there is no fire, there can't be smoke. This is Anumanam, there is a reasoning, inference, etc. So Pratyaksham Anumanam. So in general, he's saying, Shruti is there, backed up by our own reasoning. Backed up by our own reasoning. And in this case, how can I be happy in Sushupti? If somebody asks, where there nothing is there, how are you going to reason it out? How will you rationalize it? Correct? How will you rationalize? And you have to use pramanam, pratyaksham. I mean, what pramanam? Pratyaksham, anumanam, backed by the Shruti. Backed by the Shruti. Because there are certain things I can't answer myself. Shruti tells me something, and I accept it, and then I analyze it.
But all these pramanas, they are for the Sushupti, that to understand Sushupti, we are using these four.
In this example, in this particular context,
This
this is Sushupti, that the fact that Sushupti is Atmanandaha Anubhuyate. How to understand that? We use all the pramanas available to us.
Okay.
They are not available in Sushupti.
Hmm.
That also maybe you can say. In Sushupti, these pramanas are not available. Why? Because it is Sushupti.
So in 110 also it says Karya Anumeya. So when they are talking about the Samashti, so they say that in Samashti also the Maya is like sort of the Anumana for that Maya comes from its Karya, the Sthula Jagat, Sukshma Jagat. So there also it's the same idea that in for Sushupti, to understand Sushupti, we need to use four pramanas which are available in Jagrata Avastha. So similarly for Maya, we to understand that we need to look at the effect of Maya. So like Jagrata and Swapna are effects of deep sleep. So similarly, they are karya of that Vyashti avidya, similarly the sthul and sukshma jagat are karya of the uh, maya, samashti maya.
Maya is not visible.
Hmm.
Maya is not pratyaksham. So how do you accept it? So that we're going to cover it in the next class. And we're going to cover it in next class. And we're going to see the meaning of karya and maya, which you already said. From the effect, you infer the cause.
Hmm.
From the effect, you infer the cause. That's all it is. Karya anumeya maya.
Hmm. And like avidya, we always say that it is trigunatmika. And from the sattva, rajas, tamas, I think in Kaivalya also you had described how the pancha tattva and all they get created from the three parts of Maya, sattva, rajas, tamas. But like Maya, we always say that Maya is nirvikalpa, as in uh, so it. But how does it have attributes if if it is just a seed thing? So these attributes they manifest like they come up when things manifest, or like Maya already has them in some form.
Right. Seed is not nirguna. Seed cannot be nirguna.
Hmm.
Otherwise, the seed cannot produce such a magnificent tree. Not possible. If it is nirgunam, it can't produce that. It has
Hmm.
to have the same gunas that will eventually manifest itself later. So that's why we should keep that in mind. Trigunatmika Maya.
So Brahman, when we say, so Brahman is nirgun and it is nirvikalpa because that is the only reality. And when we say Maya, Maya is also nirvikalpa, but it is trigunatmika.
So I rarely I see Maya as Nirvikalpa. Maybe there some occasional
I
places
think
it
in
may be
Tattva
there.
Bodh I read somewhere when they were describing Maya or Avidya.
Nirvikalpa means no manifestation. That is the Nirvikalpa. There Vikalpa is manifestation.
Hmm.
Avyaktam. There is nothing for you to distinguish. Unmanifest means indistinguishable.
Hmm.
Yeah. Nothing. You can't in the seed, you can't see anything. There is no differentiation at all. Undifferentiated, differentiated ityarthaha. That is the meaning of nirvikalpa there. Yeah, not nirgunam.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right?
Of course, Triguna is always there. And Ishvara, when we say Ishvara is Saguna Brahman, so that so Ishvara also is Brahman with his Maya. So so when we say Ishwar is like Saguna Brahman, then do we mean that Ishvara also has Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, or like because Ishvara is also Gunatita?
Correct. Correct. So when you talk about Bhagavan, it depends on context.
Hmm.
Krishna can sit and say, I am Gunatitaha.
Hmm.
But Krishna has all kinds of gunas, which is what we love. He only plays flute. He will not play guitar. You don't think Krishna in America is holding guitar. No. There also he's holding flute only. Why? Because he likes playing flute. That's who he is. So guna, he has all kinds of gunas. But he can sit around and say, I am gunatitaha. Okay. So therefore, depends on context. But if you say Ishvara is Maya, Sahita Brahma, if you bring Maya in, then guna is automatically there.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's how it works. If you want to not use, not give, you talk about Ishvara without Maya, then you have to use words like Paramatma, like that. We use words. That
Hmm.
subtle differences are there in context, based on context.
Ishvara without Maya will be Nirguna Brahman itself, or
Correct, 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 correct. Sometimes the
in
word param,
Bhakti, if someone is doing the Bhakti for Brahman, then they can call him Paramatma or.
correct, correct. That's why you won't find Brahman. The
Hmm.
word Brahman is never used for God, for Bhagavan.
हाँ,
Brahman will never be used.
right,
Brahma
right.
puja करते हैं क्या ऐसा? Nobody says all that.
Hmm.
Good. Thank you, Dheeraj. Hemavati Shankar.
Guruji, I also had the same confusion about the Jagrati, but that Jagrati, can it be a verb? Suppose yat purushau nirvishya atmanandaha anubhuyate, tat அப்படின்னு அத்தியாகிருத்தம் பண்ணிண்டா தத் ஸ்ருதிஹி பிரத்யக்ஷம் ஐதிஹ்யம் அனுமானம் அந்த தத்து வந்து த்வித்திய ஏகவச்சனமா வந்ததுனாக்க ஜாகிரத்தின்னு வர்பா வருமா?
So tell me the latlakara forms of jagra, jagrat.
I mean, அப்படிதான் நினைச்சு நான் எனக்கு தெரியல.
Do that. No, you do that. You go back, look at the 9 forms, and then look at the prathama purushaha. Jagrati, jagrati, jagritaha, something like that it comes. Okay.
Jagrati plural. Is it latlakara plural?
No, I'm asking you the. No, I'm saying, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, see, Yanisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagarti sanyami yasyam jagrati bhutani. So, jagrati is plural.
Jagrati is plural.
Jagrati.
So Shruti, Pratyaksham, Aitihyam, Anumanam, Etat Sarvam, Tat Ananda Vishayam, Atmani, that in that person, Purushe Jagrati. அப்படின்னு
Jagrati is plural. Plural. Jagrati is plural. You just told me Jagrati is plural.
Okay.
Bhutani jagrati yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato munehe. Right? That is a pramanam for us. Bhutani jagrati. That means jagrati is plural. Bahuvachanam pratama purushaha. So now go back, do your homework. And then let me know. Send a message, okay?
No, I thought there are 4 things are there. The Shruti.
No, I'm saying do your homework and tell me what.
And come back next week.
I don't want to waste everybody else's time with this.
Okay, sorry. Thank you.
Good. No, good point though. Good point. I acknowledge your point. It's very good. Good analysis.
And also this about this existence, non-existence. Is that Nasadiya Suktam about that? Nasadi, there is some.
What I said, Nasadiya Suktam is different. Is it there or not there? Like that, he keeps on asking the question. How are you going to know? Like that, it says it's a praise of that Atma.
Okay.
It is not. We shouldn't use that as an example. Here we're talking about a darshana.
Okay.
Satkaryavada, nasatkaryavada.
Okay, Guruji. Thank you.
Good.
So
good,
now
good.
I have to do my homework and get back to you.
It won't create any harm.
பெரிய கஷ்டம் ஹோம்வொர்க் பண்றதுக்கு தான் வர மாட்டேங்குது. ஹவுஸ் ஒர்க் பண்ணிடுறேன், ஹோம்வொர்க் பண்ண முடியல. I'm still a housewife.
Correct. Thank you, ma. Mahesh, yeah.
Namaste. Thank you for taking my question. Our question was this: when we say in Sushupti, we say everything is, other than Karana Shariram, everything is inactive. Nothing is existing. But all the physiological functions are ongoing, which are part of the Sushma Shariram, isn't it?
Correct.
So Sushma Shariram is active, even though they are involuntary functions.
Correct. It is active. Agreed.
Okay.
The mind is not active. The mind, we
mind, that's why I said involuntary functions.
Correct.
Okay, so cannot say it is Sushma Shariram is inactive.
Correct. You can't say that. It has to be active. Correct.
Okay. Now, in this previous, I think what that sloka number 107, which we have been, several discussions. I'm sorry, 107 or 107. Where does it talks about the Sushupti, and we say it is our Pramanam says that, but this is also something which we experience, right? That we are happy when we are in deep sleep. So what we are saying is, so my understanding of, since we didn't translate, I'm assuming the meaning is that it is, so Pramanam says that we also experienced. Because in some cases we may experience different than the fact. Like sun rising. Is that my understanding correct?
Yeah, so two things. One is there is an experience of Ananda.
Ah,
You don't need a pramanam to say that you are experiencing
yeah.
Ananda. You don't need. You don't need. That's not the pramanam for. Pramanam is not for
No.
saying that, oh, you are happy in deep sleep and all. No, not that. Okay. Pramanam is not for that. Pramanam, okay, that experience in deep sleep, the word he uses is Atmanandaha Anubhuyate. Hey, that Ananda, the source of that Ananda is Atma.
Oh,
That
okay.
I won't know. That I don't know.
Okay,
I
okay.
just experience Ananda. That's all. I don't know anything about Atma.
Okay.
For that, I need Pramanam.
Okay. No, the way I understood was that just like sun rising in the east or something, we see, but what we experience could be incorrect.
Correct. Correct. So,
Right?
yeah.
Whereas here it says we experience, but that is what Pramana also says.
Pramanam also says illa. Pramanam says.
Oh, Pramana says, okay. I'm saying is it is authenticated by Pramana. Let me
Not
put it.
authenticated by Pramanam. Pramanam is that is not the main thing about Pramanam. Pramanam says the Ananda that you are experiencing.
Okay, source is Atma.
That I don't know. That is not clear.
Okay.
That I can't.
Okay. So that's where I missed. I thought it was talking about Anand. It is saying the source is Atma.
Correct. Atmanandaha is a key word.
Okay.
All I can say is I don't know. I had a good sleep. You also had a good sleep. That's about it. Beyond that, we don't know much.
Okay.
We don't even spend a second to think about this.
Okay. Now I understand.
Yeah. Very good.
So,
good question.
Jagamaji, two requests. One, since now that in the last few classes we have used the unabridged version quite a bit. In fact, mostly unabridged version. I am thinking aloud, why can't we switch over to unabridged version and ditch A.K. Aruna's book? I mean, at least it will be easy on everybody because we are following one time. We don't have to jump back and forth.
Back and forth. Okay. That back and forth, is it? Is it that bad?
I don't know. I'm asking what I don't know what value we bring. We can.
Yeah, see, sometimes what happened, there are a lot of examples. I'll tell you the truth, Mahesh. Okay, now that you asked me this question. Some people say Vivekachoodamani is not written by Adi Shankaracharya. Okay. And it's for somebody who's deeply into this, it's a shock. It comes as a shock. You're saying this Vivekachoodamani is not written by Shankaracharya. This conversation I had just last week when I was traveling in the car with Swami Sakshatkatananda. Many people think Shankaracharya has written only one or two texts. Upadesha Sahasri, number 1. That's all Swamiji said. Then what about all these other texts? They're all good texts. Everybody is a Shankaracharya. Today also, all the people who are living are called Shankaracharyas. They never signed themselves as this Paramacharya of Kanchi. All this, they don't do all this. It's all other people who are doing all this. They themselves never said this Adi Shankaracharya is writing this. No chance. It has just come. In fact, Adi Shankaracharya did not write anything. People said Adi Shankaracharya wrote these books. And so, this book, the way it is written, if you read Adi Shankaracharya's, you studied the Bhashyam, and if you look at some of the works, there is really no room. One second, I'm going to. So, that's the truth, which is that many of the works which we consider as Adi Shankaracharya's works need not be wholly Adi Shankaracharya's works. Then Bhajagovindam, if you look at Ramakrishna Mission, they have put a nice publication. And they've said these are the shlokas written by Adi Shankaracharya. Then Padmapada, Then Hasta Malaka wrote this, and like that they delineated the shlokas. Very interesting it is. How they did that, it's amazing. Like that it is there. Therefore, when you look at some of the shlokas, Shankaracharya will not give so many examples. The shloka after shloka after shloka after examples we saw sometime ago. And we don't need so many. Atmabodha irukattum. Here itself in Vivekachoodamani. We saw this some time ago. We just went through that and just to see all the
50 to 70 something examples after examples.
Example after example. This is not Shankaracharya's style. We have to know all these things because now that you're all studying so much, you should know a little more about Shankaracharya. And so these things are there. Therefore, we don't have to feel like you're not studying. We are studying only a part of the text. All these ideas we don't need to have. It's just we'll take it along the way. And if switching from one text to another text is not a bother for you.
No, I'm saying it will be easier. I don't know what we lose by following the full version.
That's what I'm saying. There are some shlokas which I don't have to even talk. We can continue. It is not needed at all.
Yeah, we can squeeze. I'm not saying follow every sloka. We still follow the 108, whatever there. But wherever we are adding few important slokas, it will be easier to continue. And then we'll say after 107, we'll go to 125.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. What you just said is what I'm doing, I think. We're following 108. And then I'm saying periodically I do give some instructions, and which I hope people follow. And I'm sorry that there's all this confusion between unabridged and abridged. At least that much people will understand after this course. Oh, there is an unabridged original version, there is an abridged version. That much they will get, I think.
Yeah. And actually, the Mr. A.K. Aruna's book also, sometimes the Padavicheda and all is not the way we are used to, the way we are.
Correct. I agree. It was a bit late by the time I...
Yeah, it is, especially when you chant, I don't know, sometimes it becomes difficult.
Correct. Is there an alternate that many of you are using? 108?
Yes, there is. I have one from, I bought it.
Okay. So we should look for
written by Swami Dayananda Saraswati.
Right. Okay, that is fine. That book is good, but in terms of a list,
that one or Swami Paramarthananda is there. Swami Chinmayanandaji is there. Swami Chinmayanandaji is there.
Yeah, just a list of shlokas I was looking for.
There are several of them are there, but they all follow the same 108. They all follow 108. But since we are strictly not following that.
Yeah, so Swamiji created that 108 in Chinmaya Mission. And so it has come from Chinmaya Mission onwards. Everywhere it is 108. And so anyway, that's good. So it doesn't matter. Now that we know the setup, whichever, I think everybody has the required printouts and all that. So we'll do that. I think we are following what you suggested, Mahesh.
And my second part is that since whenever we are, say, like for example, that 107, 106, we said it's important sloka and all that. So appreciate if you could translate those.
Translate. Okay, that's a good suggestion. And we can do that. I'll keep that in mind. And we'll do it. Okay.
Because today I got confused why this scripture came out of this. So, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Dam Narayan, go ahead.
Guruji, I know you have to leave, so I'll try to keep this very brief. I have two items that I want to get quickly validated, and then one question. The first item is it fair to say that Sushupti is still ignorance because it is not it is still part of avidya? Right? Is that a fair statement?
For a average person, yes, not for a jnani.
Yes. Okay.
Because jnani also has Sushupti. Jnani also sleeps,
Right. And then Turiyam is not really a fourth state. It is really the non-dual awareness, right?
Correct. So what is Turiyam? It is not a state. There are only 3 states of experience.
Only
and
state. Okay.
Mandukya uses the word Turiyam to say that it is none of those 3 states. All the 3 states are Brahma, but Brahma is not any of the 3 states. And just it uses the word Turiyam.
Got it. And then the question I had is, this is Tamil thinking about this. So I wanted to kind of get this clarified a little bit. So I was sitting and pondering about, the statement that is made that Brahman itself has no cause, it's causeless, right? And what is the proof that it's causeless? So if you look at Shastram, the 3 pramanams that we use to validate that is from Shruti, because our Shastram, there's various Shastram Upanishads that state that. The second is from the reasoning part, which is Yukti, talking about the infinite regress problem and saying you cannot go to infinite regress unless you have Brahman as the, outside the cause. And then from Anubhavam, that once you start going through your, Nididhyasam, etc., you cannot get to the experience part. So is it fair to say that from a Vedanta perspective, the cause and effect really is part of the Vyaharika Satyam, and Brahman is outside of Vyaharika Satyam. It is basically Paramatika Satyam, right? That's the reason why Brahman cannot be, you cannot put a cause towards it. It's already there always. Is that a fair way to think about that?
Correct. And do ask me this question in the next class. I don't want to rush through to do it, but it's a good question. Yeah, the answer is yes to that. For your last question, answer is yes.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead and ask it again.
Sure.
So we'll review it. Okay.
Sure. Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrita Kalasha Hastaya Sarvamaya Vinashanaya Trailokyanataya Shri Mahavishnave Namaha.